What's up, guys? Welcome back to another fantasy football video. Here we are again, back with my buddy Cole. Cole, we just came and visited you this past weekend. I was going to ask, kind of after the fact, how is having all of us Minnesota friends take on North Dakota and kind of check out your new layout down there?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I had a hell of a lot better time here when you guys were here than I am now. That's for sure. Still don't like this damn state.
Hey, maybe one day that'll change.
Minnesota.
Yeah, maybe one day that'll change. I think we'll have to check in every week, and maybe one day it'll change, Cole, right?
Who knows? Maybe.
Who knows? That's for sure. So make sure you guys are following us to make sure that Cole does find his place in North Dakota and get those updates. We're also putting out these fantasy football videos every single week. So make sure to make sure you're keeping up with us for real, because we're going to give you the insight, the injury updates every week as the season progresses here. Also, yesterday on our audio podcast, and we posted the brackets on our Instagram page, so make sure you're checking that out as well. We posted our early football Super Bowl projections, who we think is going to win the league and all the divisions as well. So make sure you check that out as well if you guys are curious about kind of projections way early before the season starts here. So without further ado, let's just dive right into this one real quick here. First of all, Cole, we're going to just take a look at some of the matchups coming up here. We're going to get into this Thursday night game, the Cowboys versus the Bucs. One of the bigger ones of this video we're going to feature here going forward. But what do you think is going to be a big kind of blowout looking at these matchups here? Sunday games, we got a Monday one down here as well with the Raiders and Ravens. What's your first initial blowout game, you think, here, Cole?
Well, I mean, I'd have to – I mean, I know the Jaguars sucked last year, but come on, the Texans don't even really have a first-string quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do at all. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get absolutely destroyed in this first game at least. And then also, I mean, the Jets suck, but, like, at the same time, Sam Darnold's with the Panthers now. I think he's going to want to get a little bit of revenge on the Jets, at least blow them out of the water too. Because, I mean, the Panthers have a lot of weapons on their team, and I don't think the Jets really stand a single chance right now. I mean, they have Zach Wilson, but he's still a rookie. It's going to be his first actual NFL game start, so I don't think he's winning that one against the Panthers.
Yeah. Yep, I definitely have to agree with that one as well. I think that one is kind of a huge it's going to be a big blow up for the Panthers. I think McCaffrey, first game back, he's got a lot to prove. I'm looking behind me. We got another guest back here making a sneak peek back here, a little tweak popping in the corner of my screen. But I definitely think, McCaffrey is going to want to get some, kind of prove his point of, hey, I'm back, I'm healthy, let's run the score up, Same with Darnold, maybe we'll see some, dump off passes to McCaffrey. That's kind of what the Panthers offense is known for down there. He's got some great wide receiver targets as well. The Jets defense, as we know, has not been, the greatest in any category. Throughout the past couple of years. No, exactly. So I definitely agree with you there. That's probably one of my bigger ones. I know we did talk about the Texans as well before we started here and how just dog shit they are. Do you think the Jaguars, and the new Trevor Lawrence, ran offense is really still going to win against, a Texans team?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think they have something to prove to at least start this. Oh, at least Trevor Lawrence definitely has something to prove here. He was the number one pick overall. Yep. You'd think he'd at least – I mean, he is a rookie. It's kind of like the same deal with Zach Wilson, but Trevor Lawrence is definitely better than Zach Wilson is. I mean, they have an easy matchup against the Texans, honestly. I don't see any way the Texans really win.
Yeah, I mean, they got Tyrod Taylor, starting because they're not going for Deshaun Watson. If shit hits the fan, they might take that, publicity blow there, but I'm not really sure if they're willing to take that. It's definitely going to be an interesting game to watch. It might be a low-scoring game, honestly. We'll kind of see what happens. But with James Robinson, moving up in tier for the running backs there after the Travis Etienne injury, I think that he definitely has something to prove as well coming into this week 1.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Another one I want to touch on, just because hometown heroes, we got to bring it back to the Vikes, and B, I think this one's going to be a stupid upset as well. The Bengals defense was dog shit last year. Who did they get for new people? Joe Burrow's old wide receiver buddy. I mean, they didn't make enough moves on the offense there, to kind of protect the quarterback. I mean, Joe Burrow just got sacked left and right last year, and they didn't make any changes to that in the draft or throughout the offseason. I think the Minnesota defense is just going to pulverize them. And then, same way on offense with all those receivers there. And I mean, Cook is just a beast. Do you think Kirk Cousins is going to do well, in week 1, Cole, here?
I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to do crap week 1. I think it will literally only be Dalvin Cook taking on the Bengals.
Yeah, and I think he'll get the majority of kind of the workload. That's kind of what I'm projecting as well. But at the same time, I mean, Thielen's a beast in the end zone. Justin Jefferson's supposed to be another beast again this year after kind of getting his stride halfway through last season. The tight end situation wasn't good, obviously, with Irv Smith coming out. But yeah, go ahead.
It's just that the Vikings are a run-first team. Like, they'll run first, second down, and if they're not, I mean, sometimes they'll even go run third down. They're not really that much of a passing team, and they never really have been. And even when it does come to being a passing team, they don't necessarily do too well. They do decent, but they never can really finish the game, if that makes sense. Like, they can't really
put the closer on it.
Yeah. It's always oh no, they might get. It's like we always give the other team a chance to go get a touchdown to win. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think another one to watch this week. I know the Saints still got Kamara in the backfield there. Jameis Winston, he's got some good history behind him as a starting quarterback as well for different teams. New offense. It is supposedly a home game for the Saints, but again, the Saints, with the hurricane and stuff, they're not having an actual home game because it's just flooded for the first 7-8 weeks of football. You think against a Packers offense, they're playing in Jacksonville. That's where their home field is now moved, I guess, for the opening part of the season here. Do you think that is going to have a big impact on a Saints offense that already is going the wrong direction to start the season?
I mean, the Packers just look better overall.
Yeah, that too.
But yeah, probably. I mean, they're not going to have any. The city's flooded. Like, what do you do? There's nothing they can do. They're going to be exhausted. They're going to be living in hotels. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a very good situation for them at all, especially without having their, Drew Brees, number 1 quarterback that they've had for forever. Like,
how many years? Yeah.
I don't know. And Michael Thomas is still hurt. He's not going to be playing. What do they even have? They have Callaway.
Yep. I know they got another guy, but I couldn't tell you his name either. Callaway is the only guy, that his name has been rising up, throughout the past couple of weeks of the preseason and stuff there. But, yeah, definitely agree with you on that one there. Let's go ahead and move into this Thursday night's feature.
Yeah, go ahead, Cole.
Of course. Yep.
About those games, I think probably it's a battle of 2 of the worst teams there with the Broncos and the Giants.
Oh, yep. I forgot they're playing.
A low-scoring game.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I think I'm interested to see how Denver does, throughout this year. I mean, they still got, Melvin Gordon back there for one more year, re-signed him on a deal. He did way better than projections last year. He wasn't supposed to be as good as he did, even in his split backfield currently. think the addition of Teddy Bridgewater will help Jerry Jeudy and is it Sutton, I believe, the other wide receiver down there in Denver? Yeah. I think that kind of boosts their potential for fantasy rolling into the season here for sure. But with that, let's go ahead and pull this up. So, I wanted to do something a little special here. We're going to go ahead and do the FanDuel, as that's what I'm a fan of here. The daily FanDuel, your daily fantasy picks, I should say here. For this one here, since it's just a Thursday night game, we only got the 5 roster spots on the left here. As you can see, we got our team players down here. Our salary on the top right of $60,000 for all the teams right now currently. So with this MVP spot of 1 times 5 points, obviously we want to put someone in there that we think is probably going to do the best this game on Thursday night. Let's kind of start from the top though, Cole. How do you think this game is going? Who do you think is going to win? Do you think it's going to be a run game necessarily, or more so a heavy passing game? What are your initial thoughts here for this game?
I think it's going to be a heavy passing game in general because the Bucs have a really good run defense for one.
Yep.
But I mean, the Cowboys do have Elliott. At the same time, Dak is back as well.
Dak is back, baby.
Honestly, I don't necessarily know who's going to win it. I'd like to think that the Cowboys are going to win because of, Dak's back, and he wants to prove that he's good off that really gruesome ankle/leg injury last year.
Yep.
But I think it's just going to be a shootout overall.
Yeah. Yep. No, I definitely agree with that too. I want Dallas to win too. I mean, and everyone going into week 1, everyone's got something to prove. Some more so than others. I mean, at the same time, the Bucs want to prove, hey, we haven't lost nothing. At the beginning of last season, they started the season, I believe it was like 6-6. I mean, they were a 500 team to start the season. They barely made the playoffs. But once they kind of found their groove after after the first 5 or 6 games or so, that's when they really took off. And, that's the team that we saw in the Super Bowl at the end of the day. So I think I definitely agree with you there, especially with that shared running backfield at Tampa Bay. They're going to, if they put Ronald Jones in, he's trying to get 5-6 yards. If they put Fournette in, he's trying to pound it into the red zone, into the 4 touchdown, Then they got Gio Bernard too. He might be the one now to get those touchdown plays, and they might do Ronald Jones for the first down, second down, throw out the other guy. If they get to the end zone, throw in Bernard. I mean, we just don't know what's going to happen here. So even in your fantasy leagues, I just don't trust any of those guys. You can maybe try it as a flex, but for week 1, I just think I'm out, for all those running backs there. And I think I'm honestly out. If we kind of look back here at the FanDuel, I think I'm out on those running backs when we get there too. Now, do we think at the end of the day we're going to have Dak throwing more touchdowns or Tom Brady throwing more touchdowns? I think that's what it's going to come down to for this MVP spot here, Cole.
I think I'd say Brady just because the Cowboys defense isn't as good as a Bucs defense.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think, honestly, that's what I'm going to do as well. Let's go ahead and slide Tom Brady into that slot. We do see here he's, $500 more for our salary to pick Brady over Dak. We also see Dak projected 23, but I think Tom Brady's just got the weapons for this game with, the good cornerbacks as well for that Tampa Bay defense. I just think Dak might have a hard time in week 1 coming back. So now I do want to put Dak in here as well as one of our flexes, just because I do agree that he should get close to 20 points, if not exceed that 20 points as well, kind of double up with this position and see if we can fit them both in.
I mean, we could try to fit them both in, but that's like most of our money right there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's about half of our budget. We still got the $44,000 remaining. I'll scroll back up here a little bit. Yeah, it does say average about $11,000 a player. Let's just slide them in for now, and we'll just kind of cover the rest of the players as well. We can always drop them out of here. The rest of the flex positions, are ranked the same. and aren't multiplied at all either. So,
I think they have to take either Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, though, even if it
yep,
means taking out Prescott, so that we at least have that option if Brady does throw to one. We just have to guess right.
yep,
Which one he throws it to.
Yep, no, I agree with that too. Let's check, because I heard Godwin has some concerns here. Looks like quad, okay, but he still is available for week 1. If you take a look here on the left too as well, this is kind of the defensive rank against that position for wide receiver, for the defense in general, passing there, rushing as well. So, Dallas defense is not looking very solid based on those projections there. I just want to click on Elliott here. Maybe he'll give us some insight here. Yeah, against the rush, Tampa Bay, number 1 hardest team, so number 1 best ranked team against the rush. So I think just due to Elliott's salary, of 14,000, I think we might have to kind of pass him off for this team initially here. What do you think, Cole?
Oh, I'd definitely say so. I don't think it's really worth taking a chance on Elliott right now, especially against the number 1 rushing defense.
Yeah, yep, and of course that's all last season. Every defense is going to have some changes. We'll have some injuries as well throughout the season, so those projections will change as well.
Yeah,
going
but
forward.
The Buccaneers took like every single starter they had last year and kept them all.
Yep. Everyone with the rings stuck around, right?
Yeah. So.
Yep.
I don't know if it's really going to change that much, but
yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. So let's just kind of skip past Elliott here. I do think, he'll still get at least a minimum of 10 touches, and feeds throughout this game. I just don't think that we'll find him in the end zone, which will hurt, our 5-player, lineup kind of on the right side here.
Unless it's the 1 yard line.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, that's true. Okay, we'll kind of see what happens at that point. But, with the quad injury there with Godwin, do you think we go with Evans? It sounds like everything's fine for week 1. Godwin is still, kind of that, yardage receiver. Evans is kind of more so known as that red zone receiver. What do you think we take a chance on here this week, Cole?
I like Evans. He's sneaky. And he's really fast. I don't know. He catches some of the stupid plays. I don't know what.
Yep. No, I agree as well.
A lot last year. Yeah. Like when he was playing against him, I don't remember who had him, but he screwed me both those games I played against him.
I thought it was either you or me or I don't know, one of the other people on the podcast here played against him that one week where he had like 4 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns, like all the 1 yard touchdowns. Yeah, okay, I thought it was you, but just because of that, we need to get a revenge game for Cole here. Let's grab Mike Evans for this lineup as well. We're only taking a $500 jump there in salary, so if we need to swap those out towards the end here, we can definitely take a look there as well. So my initial thought as well is, if we're thinking that, this defense of Tampa Bay is just going to be dog shit, I think that they're going to stick to throwing the ball, especially the second half of the game if they can't get the run game going with Elliott here. Do we grab Cooper or do we get CeeDee Lamb for about $2,000 cheaper here? I feel like we got to get one of those wide receivers as well. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I'd take Lamb, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the points projected here, it looks like they're both a little bit under 12. Amari Cooper really close to that 12 mark there. Personally, if it wasn't a salary thing, if it was playing one of the 2 on a draft team, I would play Cooper over Lamb just because, Cooper did amazing last year, all up until about week 5 or 6. Cole, you remember what happened to the Dallas offense week 5 or 6? I know we already talked about it a little bit, but
yeah, Dak went out.
Yep, Dak was donezo after that. The Dak attack was no more. So,
dude, that was such a gruesome injury too. Like when you, it was gross. You can see his bone poking the sock. I'm happy the bone didn't go through the sock, but
yeah. Yep. No, I definitely agree. Let's go ahead and grab Lamb. I definitely agree with that. So now this is where we're going to have to, either make a sacrifice and go upwards, or we can grab one of these guys down here. Just kind of looking, it looks like we got 5,500 exactly left.
We'd be able to have 2 10,000s, though, if we got rid of Prescott. We'd have 2
7,000s? Because he's still 15,000. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah.
So if we take him out, we got 21,000.
Okay. Yeah, we'd be able to get 2 better players than we would with Dak. I don't know. Yeah. I think that game's just going to be a shootout in general, though.
I know. So I just want to throw him back in here because what my initial thought, here going through this is, so if we take the $500 loss and drop Evans, we take Godwin, we would be in the $6,000 range. Now, if we take a look at the $6,000 range, we do have the 2 tight ends here. We have O.J. Howard, so we can't go there. But Blake Jarwin is supposed to be the number 1 tight end this year. He was supposed to be the number 1 tight end as well for Dallas going into last season. Had an injury that ended his season, unfortunately, last year. I believe it was before week 2. So Dalton Schultz did take that start there. I just want to go ahead and click on it here. This could be tough for either one to post consistent fantasy numbers. It says for both of those tight ends here for Dallas. Do you think we can go? I just feel like Dak is still going to get 20 points, and if we get one of these other wide receivers up here, we could take, Cooper and then let's just say, Gallup, just to, lack of argument there to say a couple names real quick. But at the same time, they might each get, 10 points. Are we willing to make that risk, or do we take a shot with, that tight end there? What do you think, Cole? I'm kind of torn.
I guess I'd take the risk with the tight end, but it's just hard to, because none of those tight ends are really people you'd ever want.
Right. Yeah. In my personal league for money, I honestly would go that route. I would take Mike Evans off of there, switching with Godwin. I would try Jarwin just because there's been a lot of preseason hype with him. I'd go that route. But just to make this video, that's the only people, unless we, kind of drop to the 65,000 range. The 2 tight ends here are the other 2 opposing the 6,000s for both teams. We go up a little bit more to the 7,000s. We got Giovanni Bernard, Scotty Miller as well. Me too, but, we just talked about Evans and, Godwin. Do we think – and, hey, we got Antonio Brown up here as well, So Scotty Miller's that 4th receiver. He's still going to see some targets. I think he'll still see at least 3 or 4 targets this game just because we are projecting, it's going to be a pass-heavy game.
We could also take a kicker, though.
We could, but we got to get back up here to 8,000. We need about $3,000 to spare here. So let's go ahead.
I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, yep. Let's go ahead, just to kind of round this video off here, since this is the only game we're going to cover. Let's take Dak out of here just for another kind of look on this setup. Cole, I will leave this next first pick to you, and we'll kind of, see where we end up. So we're out on Dak. We're out on Zeke here. What do we think? Do we got to grab? We got Lamb already for the Dallas offense there. Do we double up with
Cooper
Godwin here, or do we go with Cooper?
So that's a tough decision.
Right. I feel like we almost got to stack Godwin as well, or Antonio Brown, take a little bit of a salary gain, with Brown kind of going down here, because let's see what Antonio Brown is. Yeah, he's at 9,000 versus Godwin's almost 13,000, so
Godwin's also hurt, kind of.
Yeah, he is, fragile. Said he should be ready for week 1. Cole, you got the first pick. What direction are we going here?
Take Brown.
Antonio Brown, I like it too. Yeah. I think that would be my pick as well.
Wait, is he injured as well?
Let's see what it says down here. Let's see here. We'll play on Thursday game. Knee.
Dang.
He was a non-participant on Tuesday, so he's got 2 games. There's no update for today, which is Wednesday. Oh no, today isn't Wednesday. Yeah, it is. What am I talking
Yeah, it
about,
is
dude?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
So he
today's
was out
Wednesday.
yesterday.
Yeah, so he was out yesterday. This report came in late today. So, but he'll be out there as the number 3 wide receiver in a high flying offense on Thursday night, buddy. Let's lock in that Brown pick. I like it as well. Now let's see who else we got. So this is kind of interesting. Now we have $12,000 left. We could throw Cooper in there, double up on both receivers. We think this is going to be, a pass heavy game for both sides. I don't think that's a bad grab. What do you think here, Cole?
I don't think that's a bad grab at all. I'd definitely
Yeah.
take that overall, honestly.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think that's going to be our sacrifice here with this kind of lineup. I don't think this is bad at all. We got Tom Brady as that MVP, who we think personally is going to score some more points, maybe get an extra touchdown versus Dak or something like that, some more yardage. We'll kind of see what happens there. We got Antonio Brown as kind of our sleeper pick, a lower value pick that kind of mashed together as a wide receiver 3. I think he'll do great as well. We still got Mike Evans there, the number 1 wide receiver there. CeeDee Lamb and Cooper, the 2 top wide receivers at that Dallas offense as well. So if we're not going Dak in this, I definitely think this is the way to go. Max that salary cap out. I think this is a good pick here, Cole. I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, because anyone that we're going to get with Dak in there is just really – I don't like tight ends for either of those teams at all. I don't think they're worth it. I think that would just be a waste of a pick. So, I'd definitely take this. This is a much better team than with Dak.
Yeah. Yep, I definitely agree. If you end up with a kicker in there for 8,000 instead of Antonio Brown, I don't hate it. If you're going to take that Dallas kicker, I think Dallas is going to get some yardage and then maybe get stopped at 20, 30-yard line, maybe the 40. That kicker kicks, a couple 40-yard field goals. Let's say he kicks 2 and then 2 extra points. That's 10 points right there, So that could be something to consider as well, just based on the Buccaneers defense going into your daily fantasy draft here today. Yep. Cole, any final thoughts here before we kind of wrap things up?
Not really. Just make sure you get your drafts in. Football starts tomorrow.
This is true. Fantasy football starts tomorrow when we're recording this. I think we're going to throw it up Thursday morning, so you already know fantasy is long on the way. It is going to be a long, exciting season. It's just going to be like a roller coaster, These first couple of weeks of preseason, we're on the incline. Tick, 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 tick. We hit the top right now today. We're going straight down to the bottom. We're going to take a loop-de-loop throughout the way, so make sure you're following us everywhere to catch up with us. And let us know as well in the comments, who do you think is going to win this Thursday night game, and which wide receiver for either team will score the most fantasy points coming into the first week of the fantasy draft. First fantasy week of, I should say, playoffs. This is the first play week for fantasy teams too here. So we're definitely excited for that. We're going to get in there. So make sure you guys follow us everywhere. Subscribe for more as we have these videos out coming like none other. We're going to have 1, if not 2, every week throughout the whole fantasy season here. I got to get out of here because I can't talk. Thanks, Cole, as always, for joining me, my good buddy. And let's get out of here and sign off. Till next time, peace out.
Later.